What's good? Check out my new gaming chair I got on the Google Holiday 100 gift card.
He said goo goo.
Google Holiday 100 gift card. It's wintertime in New York, so this chair definitely just came in clutch.
Obviously.
It's super comfortable, so I could play for hours without pain. And the black and blue is definitely icy.
That thing is most definitely not comfortable. These things are notoriously shit. Okay, so formal recap on Nyjah this year. This is actually Nyjah's third video part. Disruption by Disorder. This thing was a clown fiesta. The production value on this was so ass. And there's just like a team montage, and Nyjah dominates the team montage, and then Nyjah's like, oh yeah, by the way, I have a part at the end of this. I mean, there's some gnarly tricks in here. My favorite trick in here, I think, is this back lip that he does. Embrace the chaos. This thing was fucked. That is a pretty hectic gap. So this was decent for sure, but it was just like your classic Nyjah shit. And then we can't forget Nyjah week on the barracks. These are all just elements of the Jaw apocalypse.
What's good, guys? It's Nyjah here, and all week long we got Nyjah week on the barracks, so stay tuned for lots of content.
Then Shine On, 688K, pretty good. That was 2 weeks ago. I actually fucked with this part most definitely. This part was so awful. I loved every fucking second of it. I really thought this was a tremendously tasteless car crash of a skate video that I just couldn't peel my eyes away from. It was so fucking extra. Like with all of the grinding sound effects, every time he'd hit a rail, Ty Evans would fucking would insert some fake ass grinding sound. Scream. Then the drone line in here. Loved this. Out of all of maybe Nyjah's parts, this one had some of the more creative clips in them, like this one, Fakey Flip Crook. This is so nutty. Nobody does that move. So usually Nyjah just does really fucking boring tricks, but occasionally he'll do something kind of inspired. Also, the switch heel back feeble that he did was pretty fucking beast as well. Yeah, the fakey 50-50 of doom. The craziest thing about Nyjah is he doesn't cross-lock. Except in his ender on the next video. That's the first time I think I've ever seen Nyjah cross-lock. He either toe locks or he heel locks like a psychopath. Gotta send my regards to Ty Evans for creating a skateboarding movie that could seamlessly be integrated into literally any pharmaceutical advertisement.
She's still the one for you, and Cialis for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment is right. Cialis is also the only daily ED tablet approved to treat symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines, and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache.
So this is all an ad for the Nyjah 3. Anyway, fuck, I'll shut up.
Oh, man.
Need that. Yes, sir.
Every day I'm hustling.
Oh, so
Every day I'm
iconic.
hustling.
So for everybody that was talking shit on Nyjah for having Christian rock music in his last video, he's showing you guys with this one. He's like, you know what? Rick Ross, every day I'm hustling the clean version. It sounds like an AI, like, fucking put that together. Who you suckers think you're tripping with? Yes, I'm the boss. That yes just slides in there seamlessly.
Who you suckers think you're tripping with? Yes, I'm the boss. White on white, that's Rick Ross. I cut 'em
Tech
wide,
jaw.
I cut 'em long, I cut 'em fat. I keep 'em coming back.
What?
We keep 'em coming back.
Oh, tasty front feeds. You know Jaw Man eats these for breakfast. This is nothing.
Flying across the
Atlantic. Okay. Do you guys, sometimes when you're watching a skate video, like, and things are just happening, you really just don't, like, even comprehend the magnitude of what you're looking at? Look at this stair set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 22, 23, 24. Woo! Heel locking this thing. He almost died. Pretty fucking gnarly. I don't know what his obsession with Russell Westbrook is, though. I think he should have done something off of the stair set. You already know he has this front pop nose grind easy. Like, why not make it a two-piece, you know? Maybe he landed cleaner than he thought he would, but, like, there's definitely room for improvement on Nyjah skating because he is like a bot. Almost every clip in here, he just starts straight on a rail and then, like, ends straight on the rail. Like, Nyjah literally just skates in a fucking straight line. Part of riding a skateboard is, like, turning. Nyjah, he almost never turns unless he has to. Swag roll away. Look at this fucking fit. Okay. Where the fuck did this table come from? I've been to this school. I did not see a single picnic table in this recess area, which means I think they dragged that picnic table up the stairs just so Nyjah could nose grind it. It's the most random idea. They had to all talk about this. Be like, you know, I don't think the front blunt is quite good enough. I think we're going to have to drag aluminum picnic table up this 13 stair. The Plum Jordan tracksuit. Clean. What the fuck is he holding? Is this a banana? Really out of character maneuver for Nyjah. I appreciate him disturbing the monotony of all these rail tricks. Back Phoebes. Back Smith. Beautiful. I saw this on Twitter. I think it's oh, that was you, Fried to the Marrow? I call the charge. I call the charge. Did they do this on purpose? Switch heel 50 is pretty buck. This is what happens when you wax rails. Oh my, just perfect cartoonish sack. His feet are nowhere near the ground. His scrotum took 100% of the impact. Flawless sack. Perfect form, dude. Oh. Ooh, that was kind of wet. He did the Hoffler. Oh, he stomped the fuck out of that. One of the gripes I have with this Nyjah part, and one of the reasons that I think it kind of can feel a little boring at times, is because he is skating a lot of the same spots that he skated in that Disorder part and in the Shine On part. Like, this is basically just like a fucking trilogy of the same shit, except that that Disorder part had all that Miami stuff in it. But, like, he's already done a line here. He's already hit a bunch of these other spots. There's a lot of different editing or like different people working on these projects, but I don't feel like the skating itself, none of the parts really feel like that different from the last, in my opinion, in terms of the tricks that he's doing. Random. Oh. This is not a bad Nyjah line. He rode that so smooth. Yeah. Most Nyjah lines are pretty fucking bad, but this one was actually totally acceptable, I think. That was fucked. He has barely any space to land right here. He manages to, like, shimmy along the side of the concrete and not go into the dirt. Appreciate all the forethought that goes into these clips. Perfectly matched yellow to the rail. They must have got the fucking, like, bare interior paint color palette, custom Nike hoodie. Like, it's identical. Hesh, varial heel flip over the hydrant in the rain. Yes, Nyjah. Sauce on these fucking peasants, gang. Oof. Yeah, I don't know. That just doesn't look that cool when Nyjah does it. Dude, he was really feeling himself on this roll away. Check the crouch, and then Nyjah's got like this fucking awesome Dylan Reader armpit maneuver. He does it all the time. This line's super good. Except for that. He can do the craziest tricks, like, but he's such a bot, you know, when it comes to just like the parts of skateboarding where you actually like express yourself as a human being, like doing a fakie shove on flat. He looks like that's his first time doing it. That was way too much prep. Perfect switch front heel. Oh my god. The good thing though about waxing rails, you know when most people sack rails, they just stop and then they fall off the rail? Nyjah actually did a full-on nut slide on this thing. That's how waxed up this handrail is. Look, he just bounced off that. They synced it up with the audio too. That was insane. That shit was disrespectful. You better leave that rail alone, Nyjah. I will say, though, that was gnar. But, I mean, this is just typical Nyjah behavior. He doesn't care who's alive, who's dead. I mean, I heard that on that Monster Tour, I don't know who it was, but the guy they're putting on all the posters with, like, his face bleeding and shit slammed so gnarly. All the team was like, I don't think that we want to skate anymore today. And Nyjah's like, no, we're still skating. We're going to the next spot. After everybody just witnessed a horrific slam. No fucks given. I love this clip. Look at him pretend to get speed wobbles. Nyjah's in his head. He's like, what is my part missing? What's trending right now? Those GX1000 guys, they seem to be sort of cool. He probably has no idea what that is. I need a hill bomb clip. The whole thing is magnificent. The alley-oop backside flip, absolute butter over his motorbike. All right, I want everybody to prepare for possibly the most vile push in skateboarding history. Ugh! Nyjah! Ew! Ah! Ew! Dude, there's no way you're cool with this. Oh my, it is so awful. And the most hilarious thing about this clip, wettest switch frontside flip you've ever seen happens right after it. The reason this push is so bad and Nyjah finds himself in these situations a lot is because of his trucks. Because his board wants to go this way and he wants to go that way. So, like, he can't just put his foot down and make the board turn so that it doesn't stray so far away from him. Mind of its own. So you just end up with these awful looking pushes. But that's the price you pay, I guess. Ugh. That was a classy maneuver by the Jaw. Okay, this was incredible. I don't know what happened to Nyjah. He must have had like a long night of sending, you know, ayahuasca because his fucking third eye was open. Fakey backside shove to blunt? Genius trick. That was sick too. You see how his board has to like, the front truck has to like climb over the top of the rail? This is a hard-ass trick. Back to fakie? Oh my god. That was so good. Switch nose blunt? I don't really care for when Nyjah does these flip-out tricks, honestly. I just think they're just so fucking boring. Like, they just remind me of something that I'd see on some Street League skater's Instagram page. And I know Nyjah's a contest skater too, and he like doesn't always have the most interesting street tricks. But like, I think this shit is just boring. Locking into pinch grinds on flat rails, flipping out of them. Those are some of my least favorite tricks in this part. I think they suck. Like, it's one thing if you're gonna like pop and then do like another grind after, like change the game a little bit. But this like genre of skating to me is just so fucking blown out. That was huge. Look at that gap. To land on that thing back tail. He barely made it on that bitch. That's hard as well. Ooh. Yes. That's also kind of an uncommon one, I feel. I thought this looked really sick, honestly. Yeah, Nyjah, bad style, but kind of some tasteful tricks in here. It's really the style for me. Some good tricks here, but the steez with the short / Nike shirt, not my taste. Sure, man, but like, what do you want Nyjah to do? Do you guys actually want Nyjah to dress differently? Wear, you know, big boys in like a cool flannel? Or is this better? I like this more, honestly. It's so much more fucking interesting. We just have an ocean of like people that are doing the exact same thing in skateboarding. And like, because Nyjah like doesn't conform, and he's also like kind of like, in terms of skill at least, like doing the gnarliest shit, I think it makes sense for him to stand out. And all the people that are like, he should do this, I'd watch him if he did do that or whatever. It's like, I watch so much skateboarding. I see how many views, you know, the average fucking skate video full length gets that like has everybody wearing the uniform with all of the correct gear. And they don't have any fucking views. They have like max 10,000, 20,000 views. Most of them, your average skate video just fucking like sits around like 5K or something because everybody's just copying each other. So why the fuck would anybody click on it? Nyjah actually does something different, and obviously his skill level is insane. People that like act like they don't want to see Nyjah, it's like, dude, fucking 450K views in 24 hours, and people are like, oh, I want Nyjah to do this differently. Why the fuck would he listen to any of us? He's like crushing it in every like sector of his life. Why would he fucking listen to the opinion that any of us have? And it's like, if we all didn't pay attention to him, then that would be one thing. If we like truly banished him, but all we do is fucking bitch and moan about him publicly, and then privately we're all fucking glued to our screens. Yeah, just like John Hill. Exactly. Just like John Hill. I realize that sounds very hypocritical because I make fun of Nyjah all the time, but it's like, I make fun of Nyjah, but I don't want him to do anything differently, you know? I like, it's one thing to like poke fun at somebody for their, you know, whatever you perceive their flaws to be, and because Nyjah, you know, he does dress in kind of a ridiculous way for a skateboarder for sure, but that doesn't mean that I want him to stop. Oh my god, that nose blunt is so fat. Look at that gap. If we're talking outfits, these fucking salmon track pants are delicious. Yes, Nyjah. This is a clip from his Miami trip. That was alright. That was kind of hesh. This is insane. Kickflip front nose. This is a steep ass hubba. That thing's massive. Massive and shitty. It looks all chunky because there's grime blockers that got removed. That is so crazy. Dude. Because I'm guessing that, like, you know, the average handrail height is maybe around here, so it's tall. That's a good ass trick to do. Oh! I don't like this top angle because you can't appreciate it, but he made it look small. He makes all this shit look small. So this is like the kickflip into rail section, I guess. Okay, that he for sure did on accident. He does switch heel tail slide all the time. He did it as his ender in that disorder part, and I'm pretty sure that's what he was trying here. Look at the way he locks in. Nobody fucking 5-0s like that on purpose. Tyshawn Leak, shut the fuck up. Somebody click on that. I'm not clicking on that because it's going to be Rick Astley. Oh, this is kind of fucked up. I don't know if I should watch this. I think that's unethical. God, I really want to see the Tyshawn stuff, though. I'm not allowed to look at it. That would be wrong. Do it. Just do it. It's illegal. One time I was just walking around with my film camera and I was taking a photo of a tree, and some guy in my neighborhood, and he goes, "You know what you're doing is illegal." I'm like, no, it's not. I'm standing in the middle of the road. It's public property. I'm taking a photo of a fucking tree. And he's like, I'm gonna call the police. I'm like, all right, man. No, I'm not gonna. I don't think I should watch it. I'll watch it off stream. What if I watched it without it being on screen and you guys all watched it at the same time as me? So that way, I'm not actually streaming it, but I am talking about it. Let's just finish this Nyjah thing. Less. That was like a Jeff One song line. Switch crook. I think it gets a little boring around here. Oh my god, that was so... I've never seen Nyjah do this trick ever. Damn, Nyjah skating with someone with a baker board? Who the fuck is Nyjah on the sesh with that's skating a baker? That line is pretty gnarly. Switch heel, front Smith. I've never seen anyone do that trick. Joey, you look like my mom. Send me a photo of your mom. I want to see what she looks like. Ah, yes. See, that's what I think he was trying to do on that other hubba. That shit, honestly, at this point, at this level of skating, Clipper just looks like nothing. Like, you think Nyjah goes to San Francisco and he's like, ooh, I'm so scared of skating Clipper. No, he's like, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to fucking destroy that thing. I have a theory that because of all of his Street League experience, when he gets to skate with a ramp into the hubba or the rail, he gets a buff. There's nothing Nyjah hates more than pushing. So if he doesn't have to push, he's good. There's nothing holding him back. What do you think he's listening to? Oh, that was insane. Damn, he did 3 tricks on Clipper in one day. That's pretty fucking respectable. Nollie front heel, crook. Also, like a very unusual trick. I want you guys to appreciate Nyjah's footwork on this roll-in. Oh, look at that. Clockwork. Drop. Boom. Once all 4 wheels are on the ground, what's the first thing that happens? Back foot instantly makes a move on this frame. He hasn't even started rolling yet. Bang. Anti-heel flip position. Front foot now has the clearance to move. Into the pocket. He's not even halfway down the ramp, and he's instantly in nollie heel position. Perfection. This kickflip back tail is so awesome because it was incredibly unnecessary. Jesus. I've looked at this in real life. This is like Pasadena High School or something. This is one of the biggest rails I've ever seen in person. 16, 17, 18, 19. It's a big 19, too. Say bang one more time. Have I been saying bang? Bang! See that arm thing he does? He's been watching a lot of fucking awesome content. Look at him grabbing his tail, too. He's fucking cruising. Pop out. Never seen Nyjah do a backside power slide. Little Mark Suciu-esque line here. Just kidding, Mark isn't doing this. Look at this fucking thing, dude. The stair set is on another level if they have to add metal paneling to the side, because if a fucking small person falls through the side of this, they're going to die. Imagine just being in this spot for this moment in time. It's so high and he has to grind for a long time. God. He's basically wearing booty shorts in this one, which we like. I actually thought that the back tail was a lot gnarlier than this. I mean, this is gnarly too, but I think the back tail was significantly more impressive. Because he is going switch, but he's like, you know, he's essentially nose sliding this thing. And it's front side, so. This is the first time he's showing Nyjah bicep in this whole part. He looks like Neymar or something with this. It's just the funniest thing to create a shirt with a hood, but no sleeves. Imagine like explaining this to your grandpa or something. Like your grandpa's sitting on the couch and you walk into the living room with a hoodie with no sleeves on it. That's so sketch. Oh, this was crazy. His body is like, at one point it's like completely backwards. He brings it around. That was really nice. That was fucked. Love this hoodie. Very cool. Jesus Christ. These rails are just so big. That's all there is to say. This is the only backwards hat clip, I think, in the entire thing, right? Pretty sketchy, you know? I mean, it's so big. If you stick, there's a wall right here. I think he talks about this in his barracks thing, but not a lot of margin for error when you're going switch on something like this, unless you fall on this side. If you fall to the left side, you're just gonna get crunched by that thing. I kind of fuck with backwards hat Nyjah. A little more standoffish, more confrontational, you know? It takes his villainous persona to the next level. Here we go. Ah, yes. One handrail to rule them all. Let's just talk about the thing that everyone wants to talk about, which is the concrete kicker. This rail isn't just like sitting here, you know? Sometimes you have to modify stuff to make it skatable. Nobody was gonna hit this without the ramp. And not to mention, like, it's pretty fucking justifiable to build a ramp to do one of the gnarliest 50-50 grinds ever, going up over the top and down like a, what is this? I'm gonna count them. And for the people that are pissed that I'm counting stairs, I'm sorry, it's a fucking Nyjah Houston part. What else are we gonna do? It's a 21. And then what? He grinds up like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He grinds up like a 5. So it's like a 26 stair in total, including the up grind and the down grind. Well, 12 minutes of absolute trash. Okay, so at the time of me finishing this, it's now December 1st. The Supreme video's already come out. I haven't even watched it yet, so Tyshawn has already retaliated, and then Tyshawn's got another one, King Skateboards. He'll have a part as well. So this is Nyjah's third part of the year, and then I think Nyjah's got one more thing to put out, which is, there's a monster full length. They call it a full length. I don't even know what that's really going to mean, but that's called Side Mission. Nyjah's going to have footage in that. I'm sure that's going to come out before 2022 expires. Basically, where I see it right now, we have 2 Tyshawn parts and 3 Nyjah parts. I think Nyjah is, you know, so robotic. He's so mechanical that every single trick that he does, and he does all of his tricks almost on handrail, so that doesn't help, but every trick that he does looks almost identical to the last one just because his skateboarding is so devoid of any type of personality. So it's very difficult, especially in like an 11-minute format like this, to appreciate the level at which he is skating and the scale of the obstacles that he is hitting. I would say that probably a good 50% of the tricks in this part would be enders for, you know, your average professional skateboarder. Nyjah's a specialist skater, you know, in the same way that Tyshawn is a specialist skater. You can make a lot of comparisons between the two, which is why I think this Sodi race this year is so compelling, because Nyjah jumps on rails and that's pretty much all he does. And Tyshawn either jumps down stuff or jumps over stuff, and that's about all he does. They're both the best in the world at their respective genres of skateboarding. But I think Nyjah so far this year, he has put out just so much footage. Some of the lines in here really aren't great, and maybe this video didn't need to be as long as it was. But I think when you zoom out of this and the more times you watch this video, the greater appreciation you will have for Nyjah's ability. And I know he's not the cool guy, but, you know, the fact that he's put his head down and persevered and continued to push skateboarding all of these years, despite the entire industry being at his throat, I think is respectable. He's had a never say die attitude. And this year, and we'll see what else Tyshawn does, because he's got another part, but just right now I'm like, I think he deserves it, honestly. It's not wrapped up yet, but I'm easily picking Nyjah right now. For anybody also that wants to complain about the ramp being there on the 50-50 grind, another parallel you can draw between Tyshawn and Nyjah is that Tyshawn bondoed over the rumble strips on his kickflip in New York. So I see those things as kind of similar situations where you have to make a modification for the trick to be possible, because if you look at the ollie that has been done already over the New York City subway tracks, the rumble strips weren't there. So I understand that Tyshawn needed to make a modification for that kickflip to, you know, be doable. But I don't believe that trick that Nyjah did with that 50-50 up and 50-50 down, I don't believe that the spot would be skatable without that ramp there. So I think he unlocked the spot, and I don't see that there's anything wrong with that. In the same way, I don't really think that there's anything wrong with bondoing over the rumble strip. So at some point or another, I think that if you are still trying to deny Nyjah's skill level or deny his ability, you just kind of end up sounding like a moron, and it kind of calls into question whether you even understand skateboarding at all. It's one thing to make fun of the way that he dresses and make fun of, you know, the brand disorder and everything that you can make fun of Nyjah for. Believe me, I've done it 10 times over. But when it comes to his output this year, it's been pretty undeniable.